Hello, grade 5. Welcome back to ELA today. The other day you learned about a poem called a Diamante poem. Miss Mavish taught you very well about some terms that we use when we are discussing poems and referring to poems. And then she taught you about the Diamante poem. Now, what can you tell me about the Diamante poem? What is unique about the Diamante poem? Think about that for a second. You can pause the video. Answer the question. All right. You've paused and answered. Diamante poem is in the shape of a diamond. You are correct. You know your stuff. Similarly, the concrete poem, which is what we're going to learn today, concrete poems take the shape of something. Now, they're not specific to one shape or another, like the Diamante poem is, but they do take a shape of something. So, we're going to learn a little bit about that today, and how these poems look and how they behave in a way. All right, so first, you need your ELA notebooks. Get your notebooks, get your pencil or your pen. We have a little bit of notes. Okay, it might be a lot, but we'll get these done, and then you'll know all about concrete poems. It's going to be awesome. Okay, first, I'm kind of wobbly here. Okay, a concrete poem is a picture poem. So a concrete poem is a picture poem. I'm just going to move you closer to the board here so you can see that better. Okay. So concrete poem is a picture poem. It uses letters and words to trace the movement of an object. Okay. So, it traces the movement or the shape of an object. The great thing about concrete poems is they automatically help people with something. So yesterday you learned about a term that Miss Mavish taught you, and it's called imagery. So the great thing about concrete poems is they automatically allow the reader to form imagery in their head. So they imagine what you're writing about. They imagine the shape of the object, or how that animal looks, or how the food looks, or how the clouds look. There's lots of different things that you can choose as your subject, and we'll get into that in a second. So, because of the shape that your poem is written, your reader will know or have an image of what it looks like and what it looks like to you. Okay? So, now I'm going to give you some steps. Okay? So, I'll angle you back here. I'm going to give you some steps to writing this poem. Okay? So, you're going to follow these steps. Steps to write a concrete poem. First step, and don't worry, you can always pause if you feel I'm going quickly for you. Pause the video, write the notes, and so on. You've been doing this for a while now, you know you can do that. I will be doing one step, and then I'll probably erase this board and do two and go on, okay? So, Step 1. Choose. Now that might be a little small. I'm writing a little small here. Choose. Choose something to be the subject of your poem. This can be an object, what are some objects? Well, might be a chair, might be a desk, might be a ball, might be a book, might be a table. Okay, lots of objects you can choose. Or an animal. Or even food. Okay, so lots of different things there. Okay, we will move on to step 2. Actually, I'll write step 2 on here. I can fit it. I might just have to get down low. All right, step 2. You are going to draw a simple outline of your chosen subject's shape. Okay, you're going to draw a simple outline of your chosen subject's shape. Okay, you are going to do this in pencil. Use a pencil. Okay, and you will lightly draw it, so it will be lightly. Use a pencil and a light hand. So I'll just erase that. And a light hand. So you know what that means? That means that you shouldn't be pressing really hard on your paper when you're drawing this. And you'll find out why in our next steps, okay? I'm just going to erase this and we're going to go through the rest of them. Cue speed up now. Okay, we're back. Now we're on step number 3. 3. Write your poem normally. So you're going to write it normally. It does not have to rhyme or follow any patterns. Does not have to rhyme or follow any patterns. And you're going to try to describe you're going to try to describe how your subject makes you feel. Okay. So you're going to try to describe how your subject makes you feel. And you're writing this normally. So I'm going to add one more little thing, or maybe a couple of things. Yes. How it makes you feel. And remember, not too long. Okay? 6 to 12 lines. Should be fine. And you'll understand why in a second. I'm going to write that here. Okay? 6 to 12 lines. Make sure it's not too long. 6 to 12 lines. And this is because it's going to fill your shape. So we drew a shape. Now it's going to fill the shape. We don't want it to be too long, or else it might be too long to outline or even fill inside what you drew. Okay? I think step 4 is long. I'm going to have to erase this again. So cue speed up now. Okay, now we're back to step 4 here. Step 4, lightly using a pencil, start writing your poem. Start writing your poem into the shape. So that's the shape that you drew, right? Start writing the poem into the shape. It may outline or fill inside. Okay, you may outline it, so that's around the outside, or fill the inside. So you have your shape and you filled all the way inside your shape. Those are 2 ways that you can do it. Make sure it's completely filled. You don't want to leave any little gaps, okay? You don't want to leave too many big spaces. You may need to erase and retry, so that's why we're going to use pencil, right? Using pencil, okay? If you use a pen, you might make a mistake, you might make it too short, you might make it too long, okay? So that's the problem. I'm going to add one more thing here. You can change the size. You can change the size of your writing, kind of like I'm doing here. You can change the size of your writing to help fully fill the shape. So let's say you started writing and you noticed, oh, you know what? My writing is too small. I'm not going to fill my entire drawing. So you'll need to erase it, and this is why we're doing it lightly, light hands, erase it, start over. Maybe you'll start with your first line being quite big and thick, your lettering. Then you'll go down to maybe some smaller writing, then maybe some bigger and smaller and bigger and smaller, and then you will fill it. This does not take away from the meaning of your poem or anything. It just makes it appear as the shape better, okay? So, that is step 4. We have one more step. Cue speed up. Okay, step 5. Step 5, here we go. Finally, this is after you've written your poem into the shape. Finally, erase the outline. Oh, that's wrong. The outline of your shape. Okay, so you're gonna erase the outline of your shape. And this is why we didn't use a heavy hand when we were drawing. When we were drawing, we were very light. This is why, because we are going to erase the outline. Okay? This is going to be big letters. Be careful. Not to erase your poem. Because when you lose your outline, it might not look the same. You might make a mistake. Be careful not to erase your poem, just the outline. Now, you should see just the words, and sorry, my writing is messy, it's kind of awkward how I'm writing. Now you should see just the words of your poem in the shape of your subject. Okay, so after you have erased the outline, you should now just see your poem written in the shape of your image. And this gives a nice imagery to your reader. And it still makes sense, and it still has that same feeling that you wrote about. Okay? Now I'm going to share with you 2 examples. And then tomorrow, you're going to have an assignment, just like you did yesterday, about the Diamante poem. If you haven't finished that, go finish it. Because tomorrow, you will have a concrete poem assignment. Okay? You will have to make your own concrete poem, and so you're going to have to do this. Okay? I'll show you some examples, explain a little bit about the assignment, and then you'll be done. All right, so my examples. I'm going to choose lightning and kite flying. Okay, so the first example, I'm going to do lightning. Cue speed up. Okay, Okay, example one. Example one. Here we go. So, I said I would do lightning. I'm going to draw a lightning bolt right here like this. I'm going to draw it big enough so that you all can see it. And down here it's going to be like kind of an explosion there. Okay? Lightning bolt, it's striking the ground. I don't need to do anything more than just a basic outline. See, this is an outline of lightning. I don't need to draw it to have any sort of dimensions. This is just perfect as it is, okay? I'm going to switch my markers because the other marker is a little bit thinner. It's easier for me to write. Okay, so I'm going to write this, and it's going to be interesting because my shape has different paths, right? So I'm going to write it starting here. Now, you might notice the direction I'm writing my letters. It can change. It can go, it can twist, it can turn, but it doesn't change the meaning. It doesn't change what I'm writing. So I'm going to show you some different ways. So I'm going to write it like this. Now, I drew it a little bit long. I'll just erase that a little bit. And my last little word I'm going to put is flash. Okay. So now that I've written my poem, obviously, I'm sorry I forgot one step here. I drew it out. I forgot to write it, so I'm going to write it right here. Lightning. Zapping. Zinging. I should have commas here. Flash. Okay, that's my poem. Right, so I've written my poem. I've put it into my image. Now I'm going to erase my image. Now I'm going to do this very carefully because I don't want to erase my poem. So would you look at that? It looks like a lightning bolt hitting the ground. All right, so that's example one. We'll do example number two. I'll just erase this and I'll show you another one. Cue speed up now. Okay, example number two. I'm just going to continue with this marker. Now we're going to do kites. Okay, so kites. I'm going to first draw my kite. So, let's do it like this. I'm going to draw, oh, it kind of looks like a Diamante poem. All right, and I'm going to draw kind of a tail waving off of it. So there's my kite. I don't need to add any more details. This is a fine kite, just as it is. Next step, I'm going to write my poem. So, my poem is, the kite flies high in the sky This one does rhyme a little bit, but it doesn't have to. In the sky, like a bird. That's my poem. Okay. Oh, sorry. It's kind of hard to see that. I hope you can see it good. The kite flies high in the sky like a bird. So I'm going to do this, kind of like I did the lightning one. I'm going to have to turn myself so I can write it. I'm going to start right here. I'm going to go all the way around. Okay, all the way down. Now, the two examples I showed you didn't do a filling poem. Now, I could have done a poem where I filled this. I could write this in here, and then I could write letters along this so that it completely fill it. Okay, so that's how you would do that. But I'll just do it like this. It's the easier way, and I think it'll be a lot easier for you guys to figure it out. Okay. See, I'm trying to fill my lines so that I don't have any unnecessary gaps. Now I'm going to make this one bigger. Because I know I had to fill, I still have a lot to fill, so I decided I'll make these words bigger. And yeah, that looks a little funny, but you can do it however you want. You could have made these ones bigger, you could have made bigger, smaller. I just did it this way. And then you're going to put, I'm going to write it on this side of the line just because I don't have much space there. And again, you know, this is just a tail. I can kind of make it shorter. It's not a big deal, right? It still looks like a kite. Okay? All right, so, and my last step, to erase the outline. Okay? So, obviously I'm going to do this very carefully. I'm going to use my hands again. Look, they're getting all dirty. All right. Okay, and there you have it. Your concrete poems. Looks just like a kite flying in the sky. All right, so the assignment tomorrow, it will be just like the Diamante poem. You will have to, you'll have to make your own. So you'll do that in your ELA notebook. You'll follow all of the steps for me, and then what you'll do is you'll take a picture of it and you'll submit it to the Edmodo assignment. You should be getting really good at this now. If you're having any problems, let your teacher know. We'll try and help you and get that resolved. So, tomorrow you will make your own concrete poem. Now, I suggest them being a little bit longer than my examples. My examples were a little bit short, but I just wanted you to get an idea of what it would look like. So, tomorrow you make your own, and that's it. You can do a concrete poem. Have a great day.